For those of you just tuning in, we are speaking with Republican Frank Antenori, who is running for the Arizona House of Representatives, District 30. District 30 is a large district that includes the east of Tucson, south of Tucson, and southeast of Tucson, including Green Valley, Sahuarita, Amado, Corona de Tucson, Vail, Sierra Vista, Sonoyta, and Elgin. What do you see as some of the priorities for the District 30 area?
Well, one of my biggest things is education. Being in the business community, I've come to understand and see firsthand how important a good, solid education is for the economy. It's an investment, a long-term investment, by making sure our kids get a good, solid, foundational public school education in the primary years, and then have a good university system that they can go to that employers then can tap into to find these quality employees. Right now, Raytheon has a huge shortage of engineers. We're losing engineers faster than we could replace them. We're not doing a good job of training our kids in the high-tech science industry. Nothing wrong with humanities and liberal arts, but the reality is our economy needs the high-tech jobs. And the high-tech jobs is what makes and generates wealth and funds the other types of industries in and around Tucson. So
it helps us compete, too.
Well, absolutely. And having a good, highly skilled workforce for an employer to tap into doesn't just help the employers that are already here. It helps employers and businesses that are thinking about coming to Arizona. And one of the things they look at, it's one of the top things an employer looks at when they're thinking about locating in a various state or community, is if there is a skilled, trained, educated workforce that they can tap into to find employees, because it's cheaper to find them in the local community than pay thousands of dollars to relocate them from another state.
Sure.
So this is something that I think maybe the Republican Party hasn't really seen the light. You know, that we are the party of business, the pro-business community. We love free market economies. We love competition. We love the capitalist system. But I think we've really been lacking in setting up the foundation to energize that system, that economy. And I think education is the one big thing. And I think we need to start putting some focus in it. And I'd like to see the state trust land system be used more extensively. The state trust land under the Enabling Act, when Arizona became a state, the federal government gave us these lands to use for education. And that money, when the land is either sold or leased, goes into the education trust fund that then funds public education. And we have this vast resource that we're really not using wisely. We're not using our state trust lands the way they should be used. And we could use that money selling a lot of these infilled areas, particularly in Metro Tucson, Metro Phoenix, where we have a lot of state trust land inside the incorporated portions of Tucson and Phoenix that are not developed, that is sitting there stagnant, that can be sold and developed, and that money will go towards education. And we need to do that so we can increase teacher salaries, we can modernize the education system. Being in business and seeing my two sons go to public school, the public school system is still trapped in the 20th century teaching modalities. They are not teaching kids for the 21st century economy and the competition that they have to enter with the national and the world economy that they're going to face. And we have got to modernize the school system. We've got to get the school, like the Vail School District has the Empire High School, which is one of the first high schools in the state to go to a full digital system with computers and laptops and no textbooks. It's all for the kids on the computer. It's a remarkable system. We need to do that statewide. And that is going to be one of my primary focuses out in District 30.
People are saving less, retirement is coming later, student debt is piling up, and gas prices average about 35% more than a year ago. Unemployment is expected to rise this year. You spoke a little bit about education. What kind of encouragement or leadership do you think that you would be able to provide District 30 that would strengthen the economy of southern Arizona through productivity or job creation, if you want to touch on some other things besides education?
Sure, and the economy is the other big thing here. And what people don't understand, and it's because we're really not teaching civics and economics in our schools, which is, not to jump back to education so quickly, but if you understand the fundamentals of the economy, you'd understand that businesses really don't pay taxes. Contrary to popular belief, only consumers pay taxes. Businesses see taxes as an overhead operating cost. It's the cost of doing business. Yeah, they write a check to the government for corporate taxes, but then they turn around and when you buy a car or you put gas in your tank or buy groceries at the store, you're actually paying that company's taxes. So a lot of the inflationary spending we're seeing right now is because we've increased taxes so high in this country. Japan being the only country in the world that has higher corporate taxes than the United States does, that we're chasing chasing our businesses overseas. We're chasing our manufacturing overseas. We're chasing our high-skilled jobs overseas because companies can't compete. And if people realize that a rising tide lifts all boats, if we reform the corporate tax code in Arizona and we made like Texas has right now. Texas has had more Fortune 500 companies move and establish in Texas because they eliminated the corporate income tax for businesses in there because they realized if you want to get the economy going, if you want to get those high-skilled jobs, if you want to start generating wealth in your community, you've got to get high-paying jobs to come to your state. And Texas has realized the biggest barrier to that is taxes. So if you offer businesses an opportunity to come here, it helps everybody. In the end, everybody ends up paying taxes anyways. You pay your income tax, your sales tax, so you don't really have a net loss of revenue. You actually end up with a net increase because you have people paying more income tax because they're getting higher salaries. So the net increase, Texas is seeing a boom in their economy. They're seeing a boom in their revenue going into their state's general fund, all because they eliminated the corporate tax. Mississippi did the same thing. Haley Barbour did that there when after Hurricane Katrina. He eliminated the business taxes. The economy in Mississippi has recovered and is booming now better than it was before the hurricane. So we've got to do that in Arizona. If you want a service industry-based economy like we have now, you're not going to last long.
Which is really what we seem to have.
Well,
right
in Pima
now.
County in particular, Pima County has tilted. It used to be more industry-based. Now it has gone 50% of the jobs in Pima County are service industry-based. And they just basically circulate money in and around the economy. You know, you pay somebody to clean your shirt, they pay somebody to wash their car, they pay somebody to do their landscaping. You're really not generating wealth. Wealth is generated from manufacturing. You take a raw material, you turn it into something of value, and you sell it. And that brings revenue and wealth into the community that helps the service industry.
For more information, if you want to check out Frank Antenori's website, it is Vote for Frank. That's vote with the number 4, frank.com. I want to thank you very much for joining the program today.
Well, thanks, Nicole. Thanks for having me on.
Republican Frank Antenori, running for the Arizona House of Representatives, District 30. That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for tuning in to Tucson Today. God bless and have a wonderful weekend.